Inviting young Lucien Leach, a cousin of Ernest Wilson.
Words of wisdom from the heart of a grieving daughter. For he shall wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. Good day, my name is Lucien Leach, youngest son of James Talman Leach of Savannah District, East Clarendon, who is cousin and lifetime friend of Mr. Wilson. Wow, I guess that makes me cousin of one of the greatest singers in the world. A coveted position to hold indeed. Firstly, I would like to express a big thank you on behalf of the Wilson family, myself, and other close relatives to everyone present today, both in person and online, and for those who have expressed their heartfelt condolences. Who was Ernest Wilson? Ernest Fitzroy Wilson, otherwise known as Shark. Ernest, Mr. Wilson, Chop Chop, Fitzy, or Uncle Ernest as I affectionately call him, was no ordinary human. Expressed in my own words, Uncle Ernest was a legendary human being, gifted with extraordinary talent bestowed on him by the Almighty himself. This talent he developed to the highest level, thus becoming one of the greatest singers in the world. And I say this with no apology. Apart from being a legendary singer and musician, which I will get back to later, Uncle Ernest had a heart of diamond, which some was not privy to experiencing, as he had zero tolerance for those who dared to disturb his inner peace, and would not spare them the full wrath of his tongue. One day I looked at Uncle and asked him, "Uncle, why are you so feisty?" He laughed and said to me, "Well, Leach, it's simply, depending on who you are, I can be either 100% good or 100% bad. Pick a side." So with Mr. Wilson, you knew you had to get yourself in order before you cross the border, or you knew what was coming after. Uncle Ernest was also a certified ladies' man, as he often displayed his innate fondness of feminine energy, which was usually fully reciprocated. Simply put, he had a knack for making women laugh hysterically with his natural comedic nature and instantly placing them in a trance with angelic notes from his powerful diaphragm, flowing smoothly like Christmas breeze over his fully relaxed vocal cords. Uncle would usually sing this piece for them. Girl, something wrong with me. Every time I'm alone with you, keep talking about you loving me. Hey, babe. You're for place, global mind. So why don't we stop all the talking, girl? Baby, why don't we stop wasting time? His innate love for the opposite sex resulted in numerous intimate relationships at different chapters in his life, which brought forth 7 wonderful children, namely Mark, Michael, Kevin, deceased, Otis, Brian, Ernest Wilson Jr., my basic school friend, deceased, his only daughter, Latoya Wilson, as well as grand and great grandchildren. One day I asked Mr. Wilson, Mr. Wilson, what make you love woman, sir? His reply to me was, it's who you want me to love, man. Nothing is wrong with loving the ladies, just understand this. Not every woman you love, you must make love to do. Don't judge me by the things I say, but by the things I do. Uncle Ernest was also a great friend, and loyalty and trust were at the pinnacle of his core friendship values. Uncle did not easily trust, and to become a true friend, you had to build the metal to endure direct fire from his powerful yet peculiar self-defense system, which was locked down tighter than Fort Knox or Area 51. However, if you successfully made it past his defenses, you would find a kind and caring friend second to none. I myself endured such teething pains, and today I can call myself a true friend of one of the greatest singers in the world. However, I'm not alone, as many notable legends and icons in the musical entertainment industry express similar sentiments. Such individuals include Mr. Peter Austin, who you just saw, Mr. Barry Salmon, a lifetime friend, Miss Marcia Griffiths, Queen of Reggae, lifetime friend, Mr. Freddie McGregor, lifetime friend, Mr. Bob Clark, Mr. Michael Barnett, Miss Elise Kelly, Luciano, and Mr. Buju Banton, to name a few of those he also spoke fondly of. To many, Mr. Wilson was also seen as a great mentor in the musical fraternity, and should you become one of those persons fortunate enough to come under his grueling tutelage or mentorship or gain his musical assistance in any way, shape or form, you are bound for success. I will not call any names today, but I assure you, many successful Jamaican musical icons can allude to this factual statement. You all know yourselves. I myself was tutored by Mr. Wilson from the very young age of 14 years old, where he realized my passion for music, right, based on the non-stop singing in the house or my loud playing of the simple CFG chorus chord progression on my old Casio keyboard when he came to visit Daddy at home. Uncle saw the need for development and selflessly took me under his wings, expanding my musical knowledge by teaching me popular members such as If You Don't Know Me By Now by Teddy Prendergast, Aral Melvin and the Blue Notes, I Can See Clearly Now by Jimmy Cliff, and I've Never Been To Me by The Temptations. This knowledge would have further propelled me to becoming a professional keyboard player myself, which played a major part in me financing my undergraduate and postgraduate studies in economics at the University of the West Indies. As a parting gift, Uncle spent the last 3 years of his life, and the last time on earth, his last time on earth, developing my vocal ability, musical ears, timing, soulfulness, and musical expressiveness. A priceless gift for which I am eternally grateful. This decision he made due to a very frank conversation we had one night, where he realized that despite all the education I had, I was still the same little music crazed parish boy from Savannah who used to cock his ears at the windows under curfew from his Christian mom to listen to him and Daddy and Mr. Junior Washington singing like angels under the mango tree in the front yard, or accompanying him and Daddy to the musical sessions by Ivor Weiser, Johnny Powell, or Bongo Sam. Mr. Wilson was also a survivor, or what Jamaicans would call the typical hustler. After losing out on financial gains, etc., from royalties that were sent through the post, he had to turn to alternative means, during the technological era that is. He had to turn to alternate means of survival, and one of those were his dub plates. During our time spent together on the road, Mr. Wilson would have brought me to multiple studios in the corporate area to do his dub plates, where he worked with many great producers and studio engineers, namely Benji from Friends for Real, Aishan, Danny Minus, Kari, Little John, Marvin Studio, Father Weepow, Franz, and Roy Francis, to name a few. Those who haven't heard your name, please don't feel left out, as there are too many persons to call. One thing to note though, you better have your money before you call Mr. Wilson for a dub session, or it's best you leave him alone. No free tune today, you better have your money to pay. Despite all the priceless attributes described above, none came remotely close to Mr. Wilson's unearthly gift as a master musician, soulful genius, singing genius that is, and show-stopping performer. If I should speak specifically to his musical accolades, I would spend the rest of the day and still not be able to cover even 10% of his great body of work. As such, I digress. For those who don't know, has learned from legendary musicians such as Miles Davis and Ramsey Lewis, who taught him piano, Harold Buckler, a close friend and one of Jamaican's legendary piano players, as well as Peter Ashburn and Jackie Mitu and Desmond Decker, who also shared similar piano musical attributes, Dean Fraser and Flabber Oat also, to name a few. Uncle played literally every musical instrument. And of special mention, he played on the Umoja album as part of the DEB Music Players, played bass guitar on Gregory Isaacs' Cool Ruler album, and guitar on several recordings, including tracks from Tinga Stewart and Kid Asai. He once shared a story with me and said, Mr. Ernest Wilson, one of Jamaica's legendary guitar players, stopped in the middle of a guitar jam session with him, looked at him and said, "Boy, Ernest, you know, said, if I never sing you sing, you'd give me a warm time on the guitar." Finally, Mr. Wilson contributed backing vocals to tracks by Barry Salmon, Inner Circle, Jimmy Reed, Jimmy Riley, Johnny Osborne, and Kid Osai. In closing, I would like to encourage you all not to make this passing a sad occasion, but to gain comfort in the fact that he is still here with us through his exemplary body of timeless musical treasures, which has endured and lived on through the ages. I thank you very much. Have a blessed day.